40. So when we talk about staffing, we must consider people who are working for that particular organization. And staffing will mean people from different departments. Bigger organizations will have more staffs. Then we have medium organizations, and we also have low organizations. So at the end of this topic, we will be talking about the importance of staffing. Why is it important to identify people who are going to work for that organization? Then we shall also talk about human resource planning in an organization. You must be able to plan for your human capital so that once you have the planning in place, you'll be able to understand the various responsibilities of those staffs, what they are going to do in that organization. So once you do your job analysis, you can always come up with the plan. So every year, the human resource will come up with the human capital plan or human resource plan. And this plan will be shared to the organization's top managers. And it will help the organization to know what they have in terms of the human capital currently, what they need to fill, the gaps that are there, and the expected number of employees in that organization. Then we shall also discuss the employee recruitment. Recruitment in simple terms is bringing people on board, trying to identify talents by advertising positions and trying to look for potential employees to join your organization. So very, very important. You can also have existing employees where I want also to promote them to other positions. Then we can also look at employee selection. Once you recruit, you can select those employees. And once you select them, then the next step normally is the placement of those employees. Then once you place them, you can easily train them or orient them, orientation, by trying to make them understand the business process. Then lastly, we shall talk about training and development. Continuous improvement will require that employees must be trained and developed on a continuous basis. And one of the reasons towards constant training is the issue of trying to maximize continuous improvement of processes, continuous improvement of people in their day-to-day activities. So what is staffing? Different authors or writers have defined staffing in different ways, but according to Contus and Donnell, it is a managerial function of manuring the organization structure through proper and effective selection, appraisal, and development of personnel to fill the roles designed in the structure. So every organization, whether big or small, have a structure in place. And that structure will provide what is called a chain of command. The structure will help you to be able to understand how many employees do you need in that particular structure. And remember, different departments also have their own structure, normally referred to as the departmental structure. So they already know the number of employees that they need, the number of staffs that they need to have. And by looking at the structure, it helps you to understand the gap that you have in that organization. And staffing will help you to be able to come up with a proper way of selecting the employees. And once you select those employees, you'll be able to appraise them. And appraisal is the way where an organization is going to measure the performance of employees. And by measuring performance, it will help to rate the employees and their performance. Once they do that, then they can develop those employees to whatever they want the employees to be or to look like. And it will also help to fill some of those roles. And what will make an organization to have gaps within the organization? What are some of the reasons that will make an organization to have gaps of employees? One of the reasons, this one is a discussion. Let me put so reasons for gaps in organization. So the first reason is obviously high employee turnover. High employee turnover. What are the other reasons, Wendy? Another reason?
Can you talk of maybe lack of enough funds to sustain the employees?
Financial resource.
Yeah.
So we can talk about poor remuneration of employees. Something like that?
Yes. That means we have to hire fewer staff in order to manage them appropriately.
Okay, when you pay your employees badly, they will leave the organization. So that could also be a reason why employees are leaving that organization. And if you don't have finances also, lack of financial resource, lack of enough, because you can't say lack, we can say financial challenges. Because when you say lack, it means you don't have. Yes, another one, Ali. What could be another reason?
Expansion of the organization.
Maybe the organization would want to expand. Expansion. The organization, yes, that is a good point. Organization. Yes, we have Roslyn. What could be another reason? Yes?
Poor planning.
Yeah, poor planning might be another reason. Poor planning. Human resource planning. Maybe you didn't anticipate. You planned, but you never anticipated that there could be other reasons. Another one we have who's this? Lillian is saying company culture. How can you explain it, Lillian? Culture. I'll wait for Lillian to explain. Hope sijaacha mtu nje. Promotions is another factor. Promotions and transfers. Where employees are promoted, others are transferred to other areas. So all these can lead to gaps, and the human resource must fill those gaps. So the organization structure will help you in the easiest way possible to be able to identify some of these gaps and how they can fill them. And that is where recruitment comes in. So in management, the meaning of staffing is an operation of recruiting the employees by evaluating their skills, their knowledge, and then offering them specific job roles accordingly. Okay, Lillian is saying culture. Some companies' practices may contribute, that is, not renewing contracts. Change, okay, yeah, that is good. So when you talk about culture, we have those companies that normally give short-term contracts or fixed-term contracts. Sometimes when the contract is over, they might not continue with you. They then will want to hire new employees. Therefore, that can also be another reason. Change of technology, that one is also okay, where we have a rapid change of technology will force organizations to come up with ways on how they can incorporate employees with new skills into the organization. That one is also okay. So staffing is more of the operation of recruiting, bringing new people on board or trying to promote the already existing employees based on evaluating their skills and knowledge. And when we talk about skills, we can talk about soft skills and hard skills at the same time. The knowledge is the ability to understand your expectation as an individual. And also you must have at least done some courses, either academic or professional courses. Then they will also give you specific job roles. So every recruitment job that is done, the positions normally have the various roles that you are going to do in that organization. So what is the importance of staffing? Is the importance of staffing? Number one, staffing helps in discovering and obtaining competent personnel for various jobs through recruitment and selection. So you'll be able to get or obtain new talent in the organization by virtue of trying to fill various gaps within the organization. You'll also be able to get competent personnel who are going to do some various jobs. And this can only be possible when you recruit and select those employees. Another importance of staffing is that it contributes to building higher employee morale. Building higher employee morale. Sometimes when you try to look for talent within the organization, then it means those employees who are already inside the organization will be motivated and it will increase their morale. Because once you elevate one person who was in a particular level and you take that person to the next level, then it will increase their morale. It will increase their morale at the end of the day. Therefore, organizations' employees will perform better by virtue of considering them for a position. Then another important aspect or importance of staffing is that it helps to improve job satisfaction and motivation of employees. Motivation of employees. How will it motivate employees? It will motivate employees when you put employees in their right positions. For example, if you are in procurement, or if you've done supply chain, you'll be taken to the supply chain department. If you've done human resource, you will be taken to human resource department. By virtue of doing all this, it will mean that employees will be motivated to work hard and hard because you will be doing what you love more. But in some organization, you will find somebody is in finance, but when you look at the qualification of that person, the person does not have a background of finance. And that might lead to some decisions that are made that might affect the performance of the organization. But if you are in finance and you understand all the aspects of finance, it becomes easier for you to work, and this will increase your morale, and at the same time, you'll be satisfied in what you do. You'll have a reason to wake up every morning and go to work. Then the other thing is that human capital development, it ensures the organization is able to meet its future personnel requirement. So you'll be able to have what is called human capital development. You look at the future of your business and try to look at the big picture. Therefore, it will help you at the end of the day to meet the future personnel requirement. And that is why when you go to some of these organizations, you'll find that they always do interviews every time and again. You'll find that we have people who are doing interviews. And one of the focus of this is to be able to develop employees for the future. And that is why you might have done an interview in a particular organization, let's say 1 year ago, and you wonder whether they considered you for that position. Later, they call you after 1 year. So they normally have a database of the various employees that had an interest to work for that particular organization. So once they bring you on board, they can also train you and develop you so that at the end of the day, you will improve and you can also be able to advance your career. Another thing is that it reduces the cost of personnel by avoiding wastage of human resource. So staffing will help you to analyze various work or activities that employees are supposed to do. So once you do those analyses, you can easily understand what some employees are doing in that organization. By virtue of doing that, it will help reduce the cost of personnel and also will help to avoid issues of wastage of human resource. Another one is for the efficient performance of other management functions. Staffing is important in that it can be used hand in hand with other functions of management. For example, you can talk about planning, you can talk about organizing, directing, controlling, and other functions properly. Then through employee development, it is able to provide continuous survival and growth of the business. So you can easily survive going forward, because when you bring people who have experience on board, it becomes easy to maximize your potential as a business. Any question?